Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and being a producer of Wrestle Massacre as well as Inside Movies Galore, I am David Strege, and welcome to Delusions of Grandeur. Enjoy the reviews. I certainly did.
Okay, Dave, that's it. Screw you and your college flunkies. I've had enough of this from you and from everyone else. I know what you guys are trying to do. Break me down, drive me out of the force. Well, it's going to take a hell of a lot more than a lame prank like this to get Curtis Mooney to throw in his badge, so fuck you. Over.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Delusions of Grandeur. I'm your host, David Strege, and your fellow reviewer. I say reviewer, not critic, because a critic can either have a fully negative or a fully positive, or I don't really think that you can entirely, if you're a critic, be entirely neutral to a film. You're one or the other. I believe in black and white. Short is long, small is large, big is small. There is no in between. I don't feel like there is. But in any case, I ended up watching a film directed by this is his first endeavor, directed by John Oak Dalton, and the film. Just so you know, I probably spoiled the shit out of this movie just a little bit. The film is called The Girl in the Crawlspace. Definitely an interesting cover, hey? And it says, some memories are inescapable. So, the film was filmed in 2018, and first you have to notice the people involved in this film, in the project itself. You've got Henrique Couto of Babysitter Massacre. You've got Andrew from Gonzorific from Atlanta playing the character of Hutch. Henrique was behind the principal photography of this film and being one of the big producers behind it. And Jeff Kirkendall, director of The Temptress and Halloween Horror Tales, as well as actor of many different productions and involving producer David Sterling and director Mark Bologna. Essentially, the film involves a psychiatrist and her husband who come to live in a town that is still in the shadow of a notorious serial killer that kept a local girl in a crawl space and escaped. The film is more psychological. And the couple have issues that they've not fully discussed. nor put to rest. Tension builds between Kristen and Johnny as Jill, the held captive woman, begins to trust them with her story. I don't feel like there's any bad acting involved. These were actors and actresses that definitely knew how to act and definitely seemed seasoned in their acting capabilities. I enjoyed the film. I was curious as how the film would be played out. And it wasn't entirely slow nor fast paced, but fairly neutral speed. Um, I thought that the Dungeons and Dragons approach a little was a nice touch. The film seemed well shot and felt like a recurring dream, especially with Jill's flashbacks. I was fairly entertained, man. I would recommend that you at least see the film once, if you can, and see how you enjoy the film. And then come back and tell me your thoughts. Tell me what you think. I'd like to see what more Mr. Dalton can bring to the horror table. Most assuredly. I mean, it wasn't a bad first. I mean, it wasn't that it was entirely horrifying to me, but how do you deal with that if you were stuck somewhere for so long? What do you do after? How do you pick up the pieces of your life? I mean, that would be difficult. In any case, thank you for listening. Hopefully, you get a chance to check the film out. And I appreciate your time spent here on my page. So thank you so much. And I'll definitely have some more cool stuff lined up in the future for you to check out. And I recommend that you at least see this film once. If you're a fan of horror or independent films or whatnot. Thank you for much for coming and listening to me. I appreciate all of you who end up loving some of these films. Appreciate it.
You were good, kid, real good. But as long as I'm around, you'll always be second best, see?